Hey everybody, welcome to the nightly vid. I'm going to try and keep it to a short and sweet video tonight. Got my wisdom teeth out Friday, so still a little uncomfortable, but we're doing well. Starting with the indexes, we saw last week they're closer to opening 1, and they stayed 1. So we're going to get a 2-1-2, up or down next week. We're closer to starting the week as a 2 down. The month is still 2 down, but we're right in the middle. The quarter is still a 3-2 down. And the year, still not an outside year. So we could still go outside year. Maybe if that goes inside down next week, we could get it, but we'll see. Q's is also going to be an inside week. So highs and lows of that'll get our attention for sure. It's going to look just like the SPY all the way up to the year. The Dow Jones, going to be a 2 up in red week, closer to a 2-2 back down. And an IWM will be also an inside week, closer to just opening 1. So going into next week, we want to know who's taken last week's highs and lows inside a week, up or down. That's going to be the goal. When we look at the sectors, starting with these semiconductors, we're going to see an inside week there. Tells you to be looking at NVIDIA, the 3-1 week for the 3-1-2. In this case, no daily signals setting up. You go to AMD, you'll have an inside day, which could cause the inside week down. This has the RevStrat year in force from the macro vid. MU will be an inside week. No daily signal, but this will have the RevStrat year in force from the macro vid. Marvell is also going to be the inside week, one of the bigger pukers this year. In the chips with QCOM, you're going to see the inside week QCOM, although a little bit stronger in there. So we'll see. But AMD, NVIDIA, those are 2 good ones. I definitely want to be watching next week. We'll also see technologies inside week, which will tell you things like Oracle. We'll see the inside week with the inside day for Monday to cause that weekly breakdown. We go to CRM. You're also going to see the inside week in there in the tech. Go to the year. It's closer to the 2-2 year back down. And this has an inside day to trigger it as well for a simultaneous break in the tech. Outside of that, we will see last week a lot of energies went inside. So, potentially back up or back down. We'll see a little closer to breaking up on the weekly basis on XLE. But on a daily basis, a little closer to the PMG, RevStrat back down. So we'll have to let them open next week, see which way they decide. But you'll see XOP looks the same. And then, sorry, I just had a brain fart. OIH, also the inside week. So if we go to US oil, they did reverse 322. So if oil falls through next week, those should all become inside and up, confirming. If not, those will all become inside down or RevStrat back down, negating. That will tell you things like Oxy, which is inside. XOM had some relative strength last week. CVX, which is inside. You see a really big triangle in here on the week. So if they were to start coming back, it'd be a good thing to know about. But you'll see that daily, not so much. If we go to MPC, you'll see an inside week in there as well. VLO, also inside, so you got a lot of those energies in there. FANG was also a little bit stronger with XOM last week. We will then also see the staples and utilities, so the more defensive posturing we picked up on last week's weekend vid, still the case. So staples, unless they reverse, they are trying to firm back up, going back towards those highs. We'll see utilities also firmed back up. On daily basis, they could negate. You can see maybe a 2-2 in the utilities start next week. Staples, nowhere near negating, although you got a triangle up in here like this. So it's got to stay up there. But with that relative strength, things like Coca-Cola, you're going to see are stronger. Pepsi, not so much. If we go to Costco, see they're stronger in there with Walmart. A little bit stronger as well. And this is, you know, not exactly your staple sector, but you would say kind of along a similar thread. Saw last week Dollar Tree had the inside weekend up, so we'll see if that follows through. It is a 2-2 month this month, and it would be a quarterly continuation. You can see the big old quarterly broadening formation in here. Tells you look at Dollar General as well, which is a 3-2 up quarter expansion with a inside week for a 2-1-2 reversal with full time frame continuity, confirming a 3-2 expansion quarter. So we'll definitely be watching those with Cost and Walmart. And we will then also see in the staples, you see Clorox not doing very much, but go to ML. That was a 3-2 last week as well. Closer to confirming that. Philip Morris was the 3-2 last week as well, and you can see I already finished out this weekly broadening formation in here. And Mondelez was a 2-2 last week, didn't really go anywhere though, so we'll see. We'll see on like a 2-day basis, they're just stuck in the middle. But we'll be watching, see if that defensive is still kicking. And that tells us also gold, which you can see 3-2 last week, so they're into triangle expando anytime you're outside of this. Above here, 298.97, bright green this year, still gunning. Confirming the first quarter of the year, still gunning. Tells you silver. You can see triangled out the quarter. You can see that broadening formation. About to go scenario 1-3 on the quarter. See triangled out the monthly guys. And reversed up last week. So silver, the 2-2-2 day, could kick that right back in to try to go take these guys out. See the big triangle in here. So we'll be watching those with the defensive part of the market, staples and utilities. Outside of that, we will see, you know, more retailers on the lists. So we had Lowe's and HD in for last week, but they went inside. So Lowe's inside week. You'll see inside day to trigger up or down. This year, Lowe's is a rev strat to the downside. So you got pivot machine gun of these guys. See, it's 2 down quarter, although exhaustion risk. But maybe the weekly rebreaks that. You got a Home Depot. See, still an inside year, so a little stronger than Lowe's. Did poke up last week, didn't go anywhere though. And it was a little more firm on Friday. So that's going to be in your retailers, and you could throw in other ones in there, such as Lululemon. So you can see a double inside week this week. I know the 8X guys are watching this one. Which you'll see it is a 2-2 quarter down. And on a yearly basis, it'd be continuation to pop out of the bottom of this yearly triangle. So if you look at it like a 2-year chart, 2 years outside bar, this would be 2 years expansion down back through all this. So maybe a fall from grace for Lululemon coming in. But outside of that, we will also see retailers Carvana inside week. So going to be watching some of those retails, the defensive part of the market, and that's kind of the gist this week. Watching tech, semis, retail stuff, and defensive and materials. It's kind of all I've got for you. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. Short little weekend vid here. I don't have the list next to me here. I apologize, but that is all I've got. So have a good rest of your night. I'll see you guys bright and early Tuesday morning. See who's going to start the week.